It's getting pretty bad these days when the American public ignores its own beliefs, because right now we're under a threat of war by the North Koreans, and our Constitution, which helps protect us, is ignored by the people because we are being threatened by North Korea with nuclear weapons. And we don't even pay attention to history. As far back as when we were fighting the British, we fought to gain our independence. And granted, that's not what we're doing here, but we are being threatened by a little country that basically is trying to threaten us. And if we go back as far as World War II, we were fighting on several fronts back then, and we were hit by Japan, and we were fighting with our allies in England and Germany, France, Italy, Africa, and other little parts of the world at the time. Japan struck us in Hawaii, and we were devastated in Pearl Harbor. And yet our country fails to currently teach us real history. And I will admit, when I was a boy, I couldn't see the significance of history. But when I got in the military, I saw the significance of history because I learned about Pearl Harbor and World War II and the significance of the fight. And so while I was in the Army, I learned what the battles were all about and why we were strategically in those wars. It was about communism. It was about the fact that the Japanese wanted to take over our country's areas, and the most general part was we were in a battle for our country. The Germans wanted to take the world over, basically, and force us into their dictatorship. And they were killing off all the Jews. Now, there are many people that would give you the belief that that it wasn't about the Jews. Well, let's not worry about that or this. Let's just worry about the fact that the wars happen. And we put down tyranny, we put down the beliefs, we conquered the countries, but we did not take the countries away from their people, and we did not rule in dictatorship, not once. We took the dictators out of power and we gave it back to the people. We did make certain terms and conditions for a time, and then we gave it back to the people. And in this particular instance, that is the way we, the United States, work. We take the problematic dictatorships out of power And for a time, we work with the people to help them rebuild. And that is part of our War Powers Act. I believe that's what you want to call it. So, I'm not exactly sure exactly how it works, but you need to learn history to figure more of it out. We do not intend to stay in any country and rule it forever. That is not our way. The military does not go in there and rule it under thumb. If that was the case, the military would rule the United States, and that would be the way we are ruled today, and we are not. So people, you need to understand how this country is operated, not by martial law, but by law of people. So I would advise you to learn how this country works and pay attention to history. Thank you.